Hello, my name is Catherine Jesperson. We'll get started here. I'm an admissions counselor, and then I will let Thaddeus introduce himself, and then we'll get started here.
Hey everyone, thanks for attending our fall 2020 virtual visit day. My name is Thaddeus Ripka. I'm the recovery coordinator here at St. Cloud State, and I will be following up after Catherine's presentation with some more in-depth information about the Recovery Resource Center, what recovery resources we offer here at St. Cloud State, and then also invite students as well to take part in a panel discussion. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, Thaddeus. I am going to give about a 30-minute presentation about St. Cloud State itself. So if you have any questions about St. Cloud State and the campus, please let me know, and then Thaddeus will kind of go over about the recovery community itself. So again, my name is Catherine. I'm an admissions counselor. I'm originally from St. Michael, Minnesota, and I'm a double alumni. I did my undergrad in psychology and my master's in school counseling, and a fun fact about me is I love Disney. So if you haven't been to the St. Cloud area, there's a lot to do, and I'm pretty sure that most of you have, so this will all just kind of skim. But the population of St. Cloud is about 68,000, with the metro area of Sartell, Sauk Rapids, Wade Park is about 115,000. There's lots to do in the community. So we have a recreational area like Beaver Island Trail, which is right along the Mississippi River in our backyard, as well as Corey Park. It's about 10 minutes away. It's a big body of water, and students like jumping off the cliffs into the water. There's also hiking as well as fishing. If you're an outdoorsy person who loves the snow, apparently the snow today wanted to come early, but Powder Ridge Ski Hill opens up here, I'm going to guess, in the next month or so, but maybe today since we're getting snow. But there's skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, snow tubing. There's a lot of things to do in the winter time. And then other attractions, we have the mall in town. They have a great food court, Target, Shields, and then other places like Bath and Body, H&M, and so on and so forth. We also have a movie theater with movies for students on Tuesdays and Thursdays for $5, and they have recliner chairs, so that's one of my favorite things. And then some dining options is Gilberto's Tacos. It's a 24-hour taco place. Val's Rapid Serve is one of the best milkshakes, burgers, and fries for cheap. And then also Old Brick House, which is an Irish pub and has great fish and chips. So that's a little bit about the St. Cloud community itself. So St. Cloud State is a medium-sized school. We're about 12,608 students. So if you compare us to the University of Minnesota, they're about 50 to 60,000 students. And then if you compare us to a community college or private school, they're more about like 5,000 and under. We have 200 undergraduate programs and a lot more than other universities. So our top four are nursing, business, education, and engineering. If you wanted to go on for more schooling, we have 50 graduate programs. We are founded in 1869 as an educational school for teachers. In average class size is about 18. That's really when you get into your major. I think the smallest class I had when I was in my major, my undergrad, was about 10. I'm not saying you won't have any lecture halls, because you might, depending on what you're going into. So I had 3 in my undergrad. I had human anatomy and physiology, history of rock and roll, and introduction to psychology. Student to faculty ratio is about 20:1, and courses taught by faculty is about 95%. So that means that they have their PhD or master's and are the ones teaching in the classroom. So it's an educational first institution. Some schools, they have grad students teaching. The only time that you might see grad students teaching is in your lab courses. So we have different things for you to get experience and to build on your resume. We have applying or research projects. So that's usually in our science and engineering. So we've hatched crocodiles on campus. We're doing research on rats for diabetes. Mechanical engineers created a tri-fold scooter that's also used in the Twin Cities. So there's a lot of different things that you can do on a campus when it comes to research. Internship opportunities, it kind of depends what your major or program is. So some majors require it, others don't. But using your advisors, professors, what have you, you'll be able to find something. And we have different partnerships with different people around the community. So for example, education, they partner with District 742 with like like psychology, social work. They work with the nonprofits, the different science and health. They work with the St. Cloud Hospital. So there's a wide variety of different people that we partner with. So that's easy to find internships and other field opportunities that you'd like to do. And then we also have an honors program. So different diversity support, we have multicultural student services as well as American Indian Center, African American Association, the list goes on, and we also have student services. So You Choose, Women's Center, Recovery Community, so on and so forth, so that you can feel supported and be successful here on our campus. Health and Wellness Center, so Thaddeus will talk more about that because that is where the Recovery Community Center is. In our East Mid Hall, there's a clinic as well as a counseling center in there as well as the You Choose. Academic support, we have tutoring centers in almost every program or major. So if you need help, they're walk-in. So it's usually open from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. As well as we have a writing center on campus. We have 3 locations, one in our Webster Hall, one in our library, one online. They help with starting a paper, ending a paper, editing, formatting, the list goes on, and those are free for you to use. Highly recommend because you write papers in college, and so building up those skills and using them on your other papers are super helpful. Career centers, so they help with, your career. So building a resume, building a cover letter, mock interviews. We have job fairs 2 to 3 times a semester. They help with finding jobs, internships, and you can use those services even after you graduate, so as an alumni, and that is free for you to use as well. So a little bit of stats for you. 90% of our students found jobs in Minnesota, 97% in related fields of the 98% employed, and 12% get their education at 114 institutions. So this is one of my favorite slides. It's education abroad. I have never studied abroad, but I love to travel. So if you're a person who really likes to travel, we have 35 plus education abroad programs in more than 20 countries. So we have long-term and we have short-term. Long-term is like a semester to a year, and short-term is like spring break, winter break, and summer break. Our most popular long-term education abroad program is Pollyannic England. If you've seen Harry Potter 1 or 2, that castle in the movie is actually the castle you live in. So you live there, you eat there, you take classes over there. St. Cloud State professors are over there. St. Cloud State owns part of that castle, and tuition is very comparable to the tuition here. The only difference is airfare to get over there. And then for short term, it's more related to your major. So for example, psychology goes over to Italy and Greece in the summertime. Biology goes to Croatia. So there's a lot of different opportunities to do that. And then we have 1,200 international students from more than 90 countries. So I've met people from Sweden, Finland, South Africa, Pakistan, Nepal. So it's just great to get to know somebody else's culture and somebody different from you. And then we also have 18 cultural nights. So again, getting to know another culture. We have a big celebration of their culture, whether that's like Nepal night or Pakistan night. And basically it's a big celebration of their culture. So even though you're here for an education, we also want you to have fun. So we have 250 plus clubs and organizations. So we have clubs that are very much towards your program or major. So like nursing club, psychology club, education club, and then we have fun clubs. We have clubs like paranormal club, Pokemon Go club, gaming club. We're known for Bass Fishing Club. We're also nationally recognized for Smash Bros. We have fraternities and sororities. We have a wide variety of different things that you can get involved with, and highly recommend to do so because that's how you meet people on campus. Students also have free access to concerts and theaters, so band concerts, choir concerts, as well as plays, as well as we have a small movie theater on campus. Usually it's movies out of the theater, but not yet on Blu-ray. So usually that in-between stage, obviously that is not happening right now. So we're just replaying movies. And that is open Thursday through Sunday, usually at 8 p.m. every night. Atwood Underground is our bowling alley on campus in our student union of Atwood, and that is free for our students to utilize. There's also billiards, ping pong, and darts. And then Atwood After Dark is the first Friday of every month. It's a big event on our campus. So every every month it changes. We've had hypnotists, comedians, photo booths, aqua massagers, oxygen bars. I mean, the list goes on and on. So you're doing something different each time you go to Atwood After Dark. My favorite was probably getting a caricature done with my husband, and now it's in our apartment now. So it's kind of like a nice memory to bring back. So we are D1 in hockey, D2 in the rest of our sports. We are one of the only institutions that allow students in for free game admission. So if you wanted to go to a sporting event on campus, you would bring your student ID and you get into the student section. We're also the 5 times national wrestling champ. What is free to our students is our campus rec, so running the track and field, as well as playing basketball and volleyball in our gym. Otherwise, it's $40 a semester for our fitness center. So a fitness center itself, lifting weights, elliptical, treadmill, so on and so forth. And then we also have our rock climbing wall and our swimming pool, as well as our group X classes. So Pilates, Zumba, muscle pump, yoga, so on and so forth. And then we do have intramurals. So intramurals are like different sports activities that you want to do. So we have like glow in the dark dodgeball, capture the flag, football, volleyball, basketball. So you get a big group of your friends together, and then you compete against other teams, or you can just join a team. We have competitive and not a competitive teams, and students really enjoy doing this. So a lot of our students do the intramurals. So living on campus, we do have a first year requirement, and I'll let Thaddeus go into more of what that looks like for the recovery community. But on campus amenities include laundry as well as Wi-Fi. Students also have free access to the Metro bus, so using your student ID to get around the St. Cloud area. And then your safety is our priorities. We have emergency blue lights around our campus, so if you feel unsafe, you can hit that and you can be escorted by our security. As well as we have a safety app, so you can download that to see where our emergency lights are, as well as helpful tips on there, as well as their phone number. So this is kind of what our residential halls look like in our first year student halls. We have Case Hill, Shoemaker, and Mitchell Hall. So Case Hill and Shoemaker are going to be a renovated one. Mitchell Hall is going to be our traditional one. So as you can see, it's a little bit different looking. And then our upperclassmen transfers, Stearns and Stateview apartments, which are not shown here. So cost of attendance at that $19,136 for a full year. If you're from out of state, you'd be looking at these. For a cost of breakdown, if you live in Minnesota, the tuition and fees is $8,668. You cut that in half, that is your semesterly tuition and fees. For banded tuition, which means whether you take 12 credits all the way up to 18, it costs the same. Housing and meal plan, that's the most expensive dorm with the most expensive meal plan. And then books and supplies, that's a high estimation for books and supplies. And if you rent your books, it's going to be cheaper as well. So all of that gets you that $19,136. So we have different scholarship opportunities. If you're a first year student, we have the top 30% of your class and a 3.3 GPA or 23 in our ACT. There's no additional application. It's the application to St. Cloud State. It's renewable up to 4 years. We also have the Husky Scholarship, which is a pool of about 500 scholarships. You fill out one application with all your information. And then it kind of filters what you're eligible for. This opens up in January and closes at the end of March. And then we look at it to see who would receive these scholarships, and then we send those out in April. If you're out of state, you can look at what we have here for the guidelines of that. So first year students, top 15% or 25. Transfer, you have to have 24 credits at a 3.0, and this is automatically awarded. And it's guaranteed through your whole undergraduate degree if you're from out of state. And then lastly, what are the requirements to get into St. Cloud State? So we look at a 3.0 GPA. If you have anything below that, we look at your application as a whole. It might ask you some questions, and usually that reflects our ACE program if you are a first year student. So you take 2 classes, College 150, which is a college experience class, as well as a strategies class, and they give you different support and mentors to be able to feel supported in your first year as a student. If you're above a 3.0, you're automatically in the institution. There's no minimum test score and there's no application fee. We have permanently taken that application fee away. What you would need to do is the application itself takes about 20 minutes online. Your official high school transcript sent to us, ACT, if you took it. If not, it's not a big deal. We're test optional. So if you took it, great. You didn't, it's not going to hurt or help your admissions to get in. And then if you took any other college level coursework. If you're a transfer, we usually look at your transfer credits, as well as where you went from, as well as your GPA. Might ask you some questions as well. So the transfer might look a little different than a first year student does. But yeah, that is a little bit about St. Cloud State and how we get students in the door. If you have any questions about admissions or St. Cloud State, please let me know. But I'm going to hand it over to Thaddeus. So thank you guys so much.
Awesome, thanks, Cabby. And Kat's actually Cabby's, that's her nickname. So we go way back. I've known her since she was an RA on campus here with Residential Life. And
my first year, yeah, as a sophomore.
You know, she's a professional staff, kicking butt. Amazing how time flies. And it's the beauty of my job is I get to see a lot of growth in students. And you know, it's an amazing thing what we have here at St. Cloud State. We're one of only about 200 colleges, universities that have a collegiate recovery program. And so we're really fortunate to have both a drop-in center component as well as a residential component. So my name's Thaddeus Ripka. I'm the recovery coordinator here at St. Cloud State University. I'm also a person in long-term recovery, which for me means I haven't had a drink or a drug since February 2nd, 2010. So I got a little bit of time in recovery. I'm really grateful for that. But I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for collegiate recovery. And, you know, I wouldn't have the amazing gifts that I have. I wouldn't have a college education. I wouldn't have had the opportunities to really build that foundation in recovery. And I got the opportunity to build trust back with my family. Just a lot of things that recovery has given me. And I'm truly passionate about the work I do. I do wear a couple different hats in my role, but first and foremost, it's serving as a mentor and guide to students in or seeking recovery from a substance use disorder. That's my real passion. That's what I really care about and keeps me going in the work I do. So, you know, like I mentioned, we offer a couple different components to our program. The main thing that we want to do is offer a true, genuine college experience to students in recovery. Myself, I was a former college dropout, okay, and was, you know, struggling with substance use disorder for, gosh, most of my teen life, and dropped out of college, didn't think college would ever be in the cards for me. And, you know, it took me going to treatment a couple times and then hearing about collegiate recovery while in treatment to be like, whoa, this is an option. This is programs like this actually exist. Like I had no idea. And it really motivated me, especially in those early months in recovery, to have that goal and desire to go back to college. And that really drove me to be successful in those early months in recovery. And so we really want students to have fun. We want them to do everything else that other college student does, but not drink and use drugs. And we have as much fun or more fun than those students, to be honest with you. We have a really good time. You know, we offer a lot of different recovery resources, and I'll get more into depth later on in the presentation, but we offer support group meetings. We do service projects. We do advocacy initiatives. Fun, sober social events. We do a lot of that stuff as a community. We offer a program coordinator, which is yours truly. I'm also a certified peer recovery support specialist through the state of Minnesota. So I'm trained to offer that recovery support to students. And our drop-in center and the Center for Health and Wellness Innovation, that's our Recovery Resource Center, which opened last year. That's our pride and joy. We offer our meetings in that space. We have monthly celebration meetings as well. We also offer a student organization, STARS, Students Taking Action in Recovery and Service. Talk a little bit about that in a little bit. Like I said, individual and group support. And then also on-campus housing options. We formerly, when we started in 2012, our program, we were primarily a residential-based program. We had housing at Coburn Plaza Apartments. Unfortunately, that facility is no longer part of university housing, but we do have other halls on campus that are great, and the students that are living on campus love it. So I'll talk a little bit about that too. So community, first and foremost, I'm a firm believer that connection is the opposite of addiction. We need to have support. We need to have others to hold us accountable, to have fun with, and to grow with. And that's what we offer here at St. Cloud State. When you come to campus and you join the Recovery Resource Center, you have instant friends, instant connections. You know, we are a band of brothers and sisters in recovery, and that's it's an awesome bond to have. A lot of people don't have that that instant bond, and we offer that. And we currently have 24 student members in our program, which is awesome, and we're growing. I just admitted a new student last week, so we're constantly growing as a program. Sober fun options, we do a lot of things together. Before COVID, we would go to at least 2 sporting events a year at, Twins and Timberwolves, and we go to the Husky hockey game a couple times a year. But there's a movie theater on campus too that's actually still open. So we'll go to the movies. We do potlucks. We have Thanksgiving potlucks, Super Bowl potluck. We do a lot of stuff together and kind of keep things interesting. Advocacy and service work, and this is mainly through our student organization, STARS. A lot of the student leaders that are part of that program put these initiatives on. We do an opiate awareness week, the third week in January. This past year, we did a service project where we did a giving tree. It was like on a toy drive and baby item drive for the women at Journey Home. And that was well received. The students love that. We have a run, walk for recovery 5K that we do every year. This will be our 6th year coming up. And then we just do other advocacy initiatives around campus and just letting other students, faculty, and staff know that recovery works and doing our part to destigmatize addiction and addiction recovery. We are award winning. We won Outstanding Student Org of the Month. This was in January, gosh, right before COVID hit. But we still are very engaged in the community. Our students this year have 2 service projects lined up for this semester, which we're really excited about. And we are organizing, we're doing a Halloween movie night at the Welcome Center, which is part of campus, and there's a huge lobby. They have a big TV, so we're going to do a movie night there. We're really excited about. So we're meeting actually this afternoon. So they meet every week and talk about what can we do to engage the other students, whether that's fun stuff, service projects, advocacy initiatives. So the Recovery Resource Center, we're on the first floor of this awesome building called the Center for Health and Wellness Innovation, or Eastman Hall. Basically, it was a building that was mothballed for 10 years, and they renovated it to the state-of-the-art facility where you go in there and, whether you need help with your mental health, physical health, chemical health, personal well-being, everything's under one roof. It really destigmatizes things for students that walk in there. You don't know where they're going. So I think it's really opened the door for students to get the necessary help they need. And like I said, we're on the first floor, so we have prime real estate. Students walk in there, that south building, the south door, we're right there on the right-hand side. And things have changed a little bit for our center just because of COVID. Before COVID, we had students can come in there anytime, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and non-members of our space, we call newcomers, and they could come check out the space, meet other students in recovery. But with COVID, we really want to limit exposure into the space. So right now, only student members are able to access it 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, except for our support group meetings, and non-members can access those support group meetings as well. But before COVID, our student members got 24/7 access to the building and the space. It was a really cool feature and perk of membership, but we've had to kind of limit that. But it's okay. Our students still access the space. There's students in there all the time. So never a dull moment in the RRC, as we call it. The only requirement really for the space is, we are very adamant you can't be under the influence while in the space or have drugs and alcohol in your person. We have members of our resource center that have a day or two in recovery. We don't have a time limit. You don't have to be 6 months sober to join our recovery resource center. So, but we do need to respect others' recovery, and if you're under the influence that day, it's wait the next day and you can access it. So like I said, we used to have 24/7 access, offer that to students, not anymore. But there's a lot of other benefits to membership. We have scholarship opportunities, and in the spring, we did offer this semester a little scholarship, $250 for each student living on campus, but we do have another scholarship in the spring for the student members. Like I said, our sober events, those are free. We don't charge a dime for anything. There's no membership fee. We're really proud of that. We're fully self-supporting, really. We do our own fundraising, and everything from snacks in there, coffee, that's all, students worked hard to fundraise that money. We have custom milestone coins for 5 years, up to 5 years of continuous recovery. We have an honor cord. It's blue and turquoise, the colors of recovery. So those are really cool. We have some professional internship development opportunities, obviously service work opportunities. We do monthly celebrations where we recognize recovery time and just do something fun. For like in October, we're doing the Halloween movie night. That's going to be our monthly recovery celebration this month. And then the perk that the students like the most, obviously, is, drumroll, free coffee and snacks, right? So we have a Keurig, we have a bunch of snacks right now. Snacks look different every time. I have a Costco membership, so it's nice buying bulk in that regard. But we also have a mini fridge now. We got that last week, so students are pumped about that. So yeah, if you're a member, you can get a coffee every day if you want at the resource center. So it's just some action shots. So pre-COVID, obviously, right now with COVID, you have to wear a mask in the space, but it's a lot of fun. We do a lot of fun things together in there. So I mentioned support group meetings. We currently have 4 meetings that we offer a week in our space. We have an all recovery meeting, a campus AA meeting, a refuge recovery meeting. Refuge is a new type of meeting. We're actually only one of 3 in the state of Minnesota that offers this type of meeting. It's based on Buddhist principles, and it incorporates about a 20-minute meditation in each meeting. It's really neat meeting. Our students love it. And we also offer a group process meeting, which is for student members only. So all these meetings are student run, student led. And I have a couple links that I'll share. Our all recovery meeting and our campus AA meeting, they are open virtually as well. So we offer like a hybrid kind of meeting. So you feel like you're in the room with us, but you can be a student, you could be a community member to access those meetings. So it'd be cool if you're interested in becoming a member or joining St. Cloud State and joining our program to check out those meetings and meet some students. So that's kind of what that looks like. We have some really cool technology in our space. So we have you can see that camera there. So we are able to offer meetings kind of hybrid model. So students, we have some distance learners, we have some students that might not be on campus as much as they used to because most of their classes are online. So they're still able to participate in our support group meetings, but they're at home or wherever they're at. So we're really, it's kind of cool how, in a way, like COVID has really informed our work, and we're going to continue using that hopefully when things get back to normal, whatever that looks like. We'll continue to offer those virtual meetings to students and community members. So like I said, those are the 2 that we offer. Tonight, in fact, we have our AA meeting at 4 o'clock, and then all recoveries tomorrow, Wednesdays at 11. So it's the same link and password for both those meetings. And I'll put those on the chat afterwards. So our recovery roommate matching program, this is, like I said, this is a little bit new as of this past year because of Coburn Plaza going away, but it really has allowed us to open the door to other resident halls that students might be interested in living in. Obviously more cost effective also. It's a little cheaper too to live in these other resident halls. But this year we have 7 students that live on campus, and they're actually in 2 apartments at Stateview. So Stateview is our apartment style living facility now on campus. So there's a north and south building. Our students are in there, and they love it. Actually, it's really cool. They brought all the furniture and beds, actually bedding, all the beds and furniture from Coburn Plaza to Stateview. So those apartments are fully furnished now. And so our students didn't need to bring any furniture or anything like that. And it's kind of, I like Stateview a lot. It kind of gives you, it kind of feels like a real apartment, you know. And our students love it. They're right next to each other, and they do every Thursday they do dinner nights. So they, you know, one of the students or 2 of them will get food and cook for the whole community. So they love it there, and I'm glad we're still able to offer that residential component. So some expectations for students that live on campus through our recovery roommate matching program: we want you to meet regularly with a wellness coach. And that's initially every week, and then as needed after that. But wellness coach it's a grad student on campus, and they help students with more life skills, you know, things of like time management, balancing schedule. Maybe they want to exercise more, just things that goals help the students with their goals and kind of work alongside with them. They use a lot of motivational interviewing, and our students really are receptive to that. But we also offer counseling as well on campus in the same building, which is super convenient. It's called CAPS, Counseling and Psychological Services. So some of our students that need more in-depth work, intensive work with their mental health, are able to see someone up there as well. For any member of either Recovery Resource Center or the Recovery Roommate Matching Program, there's a personal recovery plan that I have students fill out. Those are 8 dimensions of wellness. We go through triggers, you know, what can I do to help support students better? Just getting to know the students, and we have them do that and go over it with me. And then we want them to go to 1 support group meeting a week in the resource center, and then attend our monthly celebrations. So first things first, as far as joining the Recovery Resource Center, we want you to be admitted to St. Cloud State or St. Cloud Tech. So our students, we have 1 student right now that lives on campus. He goes to St. Cloud Tech, but he's able to be a part of our program and get those benefits. So you get acceptance to either of those schools, and then apply to become a member of the Recovery Resource Center. And the application is the same. There's a little drop-down menu. If you are interested in living on campus, we can get you in touch with how to apply for housing through residential life. And then you would set up a time with me to do kind of an admission interview. It's pretty low key, just to see where you're at in your recovery, if you feel like, just if you're a good fit, if you're serious not only about academics, but also your recovery. So that's that. Individual counseling, like I mentioned before, wellness coaching. The wellness coaching is relatively new, but our students really like it, with working with graduate assistants. And then CAPS is on the 3rd floor here at the Center for Health and Wellness Innovation. So they're very easy to get a hold of and do a great job. They're phenomenal up there. Medical clinics on the 2nd floor of this building. They actually can offer telepsychiatry. So if you're looking to get on different medications, they can help facilitate that and get you pointed in the right direction. And student accessibility services. This is an awesome resource, and something I utilized when I was a student to get extra time on tests. I would get my own private room, and really allowed me to just perform at my best ability. And so students, anybody really that has a substance use disorder is protected through the ADA, Americans Disability Act. And so our students get priority registration, so they're basically first up to get those classes that they need, especially when you're in your major. It's important to get those classes soon as they fill up quick. Alternative testing, that's what I mentioned. You get, if you are, if you can apply, you can get extra time, usually time and a half or double time on tests, and then typically your own testing room to test. Note takers, those are your peers that can help take notes for you. And actually they help too with the paperwork to get an emotional support animal. And we actually just had a student recently at, I think, 2-month-old Shih Tzu, emotional support dog. And so she's living on campus at Stateview, and she's really loving that. So Student Accessibility Services, awesome resource for our students on campus. So that's the application to apply. I'll put this on the chat before we start the panel discussion here shortly. Just checking time. Oh, we got about 5 minutes here. So I am going to minimize and see where we're at. Are there any questions? Let me see. Anybody have any questions? Okay. All right. I think, are the panel members there? I think we got, who we got? Amanda, Taylor, John, and Kevin's coming. There's John, there's Taylor. Oh, Taylor. Taylor's got the camera for the Recovery Resource Center. So that's actually where Taylor's at. That's, if you were to join one of our meetings, you will feel like you're in the room with us. It's really cool. Audio is awesome, video is great.
Thanks to Ollie for fixing it.
Yeah, one of our students, students in recovery in general are super talented. But we have this one student in particular, he's a computer engineer, and I was having problems with how to set that up. And I was like, oh man, I got to put microphones in the ceiling. I got to do all this stuff. And he just goes in there for like, what was like 10 minutes and fixes it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So, so we have John, Taylor, Kevin, and Amanda. So thank you all for coming and sharing a little bit of your experience so far at St. Cloud State. Before we start, do you want to give a quick tour around the space, Taylor? Yep. I wonder if you unplug it, it'll probably go automatically to the
sure
laptop camera. It should. We'll see. So there you go. So yeah, just walk around the room, kind of show us the goodies. So we had a really cool art piece there. It's actually a picture done by a local artist, and I think it really depicts recovery and just working together in recovery. And sometimes it's going to be hard, but if we work together, we're going to be successful. So, and we did, to the right of that, we did for September, which was National Recovery Month, we did Testimony Tuesdays. So we had a student, couple students, actually 5, write some testimony, and in one case draw, and then Kevin did a nice video in the resource center too, which is pretty funny. He's a funny dude. Do you want to check out the coffee, and we do the coffee and snacks? Taylor, can you move? Are you there, Taylor? Can you hear me? Okay. I think the coffee. Yeah, so we have a lot of snacks and a lot of coffee for our students. that board in the back there is kind of our What's the Haps board, and kind of shows what's going on in the week, usually when the meetings are. Other things too, there's some scholarship opportunities that we post there also, and other grants and things that students might be applied for. So yeah, thanks for showing us around, dude. So the first question I had, just thinking about, since this is a visit day, so how did you find out about St. Cloud State University? In particular, how did you find out about our collegiate recovery program? I know for me personally, I was in treatment. And then the light bulb kind of went off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can go to school and hang out with other students in recovery. It's amazing. So what was it for you? How did you hear about us?
I heard about you from treatment. I was in treatment at Recovery Plus, and Thaddeus came to the life skills group and told his story and told us about collegiate recovery, and I actually applied to college that day. So
I remember that. I used to go there, and yeah, you were very excited. So Amanda's doing awesome right now. She's going for HR, right?
Yep.
Yep. And is it after this semester you'll be in your major?
One more semester.
One more semester? Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, our business school here, the Herberger School of Business, is phenomenal. We have a lot of really strong programs: nursing, teaching, the sciences, engineering, but also communications. Yeah. But I'm an alum from the Herberger School of Business. I got my master's here at St. Cloud State in 2014, my MBA. So really strong program. Anyone else, how they heard about our program?
Thaddeus, I heard about St. Cloud State and your program, and you in particular from a fellow AA member in Mora, Minnesota.
That's awesome. That's really good to hear that. Yeah, I know you shared that before, and it's really important to get the word out and then just let people know, not just professionals, but community members, because you never know. I mean, that just one share can change the trajectory of someone. And
it did.
Really make all the difference in the world. So, and John is our eldest member, and he's
point that out.
Well, I mean, with that comes wisdom, and you bring a lot to the program, and we're really happy to have you. And you'll be done with your bachelor's in May, correct?
Well, the internship and one last class will go into the summer.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing, man. It's never too late to not only find recovery, but also find your vocation. Find a career, find what makes you go and what makes you want to keep going. So you're an inspiration, dude. I'm proud of you. So how is the space at Eastman Hall, our Recovery Resource Center, how has that positively impacted your college experience as well as your recovery journey?
Well, with me, I spent like not really, but like a lot of hours in the Recovery Resource Center last year. I even really I think one time I stayed to like 1 a.m. when it was still 24 hours. It was just like a safe space where I knew there wasn't going to be any drugs or alcohol. And I could also get my work done very in a quiet environment for the most part.
I know you got a job now, so you're not around as much, but Kevin actually is our student org president this year. He's the STARS president. So Kevin's always been an active member in our program, and really happy to see him step up and be the president this year. So a lot of cool things happening this semester. We're making do. So, right. Anyone else, and how the space has impacted your recovery and college career?
I guess for me, It's given me a sense of community and people dealing with a similar problem, being addiction and having to go to school at the same time. So kind of having that sense of community and a place to meet, along with all the kind of activities that you described, has been extremely beneficial. And kind of, I'm a transfer student as well, so like kind of making friends and having a place to go and feel accepted has been like pretty huge. And now I'm pretty much in here every day because it's such a conducive space to study in. I mean, I have coffee at my fingertips at all times, and Thaddeus coming in and out, and meetings when I need them pretty much on a daily basis. It's all been pretty much beneficial to my college experience and recovery journey.
And Taylor is the one that really motivated me to start the Refuge Recovery meeting. And that meeting, like I mentioned, is based on Buddhist principles. It's a very unique meeting. And right now it's only offered in person, but we might be opening it up virtually next semester. I highly recommend to those that are attending this or viewing this after the fact to check out Refuge Recovery. Their website there's a lot of online meetings that they offer, and it's a very different type of support group. And I feel, and I'm a firm believer, there's no right or wrong way to find recovery. There's multiple pathways. You can do the traditional 12 steps. You can do through your faith, through church, through one-on-one psychiatry or therapy, but there's no right or wrong way. And I think the more we offer, I'm really proud of the diversity of meetings that we offer. So it really, again, meet students where they're at and not have to force something down a student's throat that might not work for them. It actually could turn them off and create more damage. So, all right. Anyone else?
For me, I was a transfer student coming into St. Cloud State last fall. And a big priority for me was just meeting new people. And the Recovery Resource Center has definitely been a boon to that.
Awesome.
For me, it's really boosted my college experience, like having the meetings there, because during COVID, it's been really hard to find meetings that are in person or don't have quotas. So there's always a meeting for students pretty much every day of the week. So if I need a meeting, I know that there's one there.
Yeah, right now with our space, our max is 10 students in the space, but there's a classroom on the first floor. So if there's overflow, we're able to move in there. So yeah, it's been great. Most of our meetings, 6 to 8 students, really intimate, but I feel that it gives everyone a chance to share, and there might be a couple people online too, which is always fun. So we have some distance learners, and like I mentioned, there's students that are on campus as much as they were before because most of their classes are online. Or we have a student member who's a PhD student in St. Paul. He's never on campus, but he's a member of a resource center, and so it's really cool with the technology that's out there now and what we're able to offer students. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. All right. What are some kind of meaningful activities that help foster a sense of purpose for you? It could be this semester or semesters past, but what have been some meaningful activities or events, service projects, could be advocacy work?
I guess for me, kind of being involved with the STARS program, the students and taking action in recovery and service. We had a toy drive last year that kind of like within our student body here was able to reach out to the community and be able to help those in need. So kind of being of service to others, which is kind of one of the core principles of like a successful recovery program. So I think that was pretty cool to be a part of.
Yeah, it's kind of our leadership program. I know this year with COVID, last semester we started an ambassadors program for students that help staff the space and welcome new students. But just because basically the space is open to student members only this year, we don't technically have that program up and running right now. But our Students Taking Action Recovery and Service organization, I started that in 2013 to better reach those students that lived off campus. And now it's kind of grown into a really awesome program. I mean, you guys do an amazing job, very engaged body of students. So you're meeting this afternoon, right?
Yep.
Right on. What are we watching? We're watching what, is it Cabin in the Woods and Us
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods and Us.
on Halloween?
Mm-hmm. And I think
Costumes are encouraged, right? Right on. Yeah, we'll have pizza. And what are you bringing? Taco dip, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm gonna make some homemade taco dip.
Right on. And didn't you say you're gonna bring like a cheese dip, Kev?
yeah, but it's gonna be like Tostitos.
All right, that works.
Not,
Tostitos cheese dip is so good.
It is.
Nothing
It
wrong
is.
with that. I'm totally game for that. That'll be fun. All right, next question.
I do have a
John.
response to the last question.
Yeah.
I really appreciated the opportunities to speak at some local halfway houses.
Yep. I think for me, doing that work and really embracing your narrative and sharing your story and not being ashamed of it is so powerful. And especially when someone can talk to you and just say thank you, or hey, I related to you and you're giving me hope. Like, I honestly don't think there's a better high in the world than that. Making a positive difference in another human's life. And you know, this year it's been challenging finding those opportunities, but we'll get back there. I think a lot of it's with privacy with Zoom and just especially in treatment centers, it's been challenging. But you know, Jenna, if you need us to come share our stories to your students, we're more than happy to do that. So I know she's viewing this right now, but anyone, we're always hungry for that opportunity to give back. So thanks for sharing that, John. Now, St. Cloud State, I hope it's not anymore, and I hope people don't think of it anymore, but we have a reputation for being a party school, and it's not the fact anymore. I mean, maybe 10 years ago, but our high-risk drinking numbers are below the national average. But you know, coming here, I came as a grad student in 2012. I was always warned, oh, you're good luck, dude. You know, it's always felt like I'm going into the Wild West, you know. And I never, for me personally, I think I never had any issues. But I wanted to hear from you as far as, you know, any college campus, really, it's going to be, in general, a hostile environment to people in recovery. I think there's just there's more temptations, maybe. How has it been in your experience attending St. Cloud State? Has it been challenging as being a student in recovery? What are some of your thoughts?
For me, no, mostly because there's this space and this group, this program that helps me stay sober. So for me, it's more like it's easy now just because I put myself out there and to a point where I can, like, if I ever have triggers, I can call up anybody and I can be fine. But that's me though. If I didn't have this, I think it'd be a lot harder. And that's for any college campus. That's not just SCSU. I didn't go to SCSU for my first one, and I dropped out because of all the stuff that I was doing then. So it's not this campus, it's like a lot of other campuses.
Yeah.
That are like that. But it's easy here because we have this program, and without this program, I don't think I would strive.
Yeah, me personally, I wouldn't have gotten my undergrad, let alone master's degree, if it wasn't for collegiate recovery. That's why I'm really passionate about the work I do. And our program at St. Cloud State, we're in a sense very unique that we offer on-campus housing as well as a physical space for students in recovery. Most other programs, it's one or the other usually. So yeah. Anyone else?
I just want to speak to the fact, so I live in Stateview, and so I live on the recovery floor, but my 3 roommates are not in recovery, and none of them party, none of them drink. So I just kind of wanted to speak to that. You know, there's a lot of students at St. Cloud State that don't party, that take their academics very seriously.
Thanks for sharing that, Amanda. Actually, we do a student health survey every 2 years, and we're about 40% of students at St. Cloud State don't drink. And I think a lot of students that do drink don't believe that because of who they hang out with. I think that's with the social norm theory, is who you hang out with kind of dictates how you view basically the world. And yeah, and in general, college, there's a subculture with college, and like everyone drinks, everyone, all that stuff. And Animal House and all the media and Hollywood have ingrained in us, but it's really not the case. It's not reality.
I'd like to say that as far as challenges for me attending school here, especially during the beginning of the COVID and the start of the lockdown of campus, how it upset my class schedule going to online, and I didn't cope with it very well to begin with. But there was such an array of resources, people to reach out to, not the community here, in particular, but CAPS, the Counseling and Psychological Services, my student advisor. I wouldn't have got through it without all of you and these other resources.
Yeah, I was really worried when COVID hit, just because we're creatures of habit. We like our routine, and we had, amazing momentum in the spring. We had, our numbers were up and we were doing great, and then COVID hit. I think there were only a couple students that had returned to use, but got, back on the wagon pretty quick. And everyone, I'm really proud of all of you for your resiliency. I think in general, we're the most resilient people there are in this world, but it really shined this summer. And coming back in the fall, I think having our space open, despite, having to wear a mask and all that stuff, I think it really, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it really has positively impacted you all to at least have that opportunity to get back in person. I think also we like that physical instead of virtual. So we're really fortunate. I'm so happy the work we've done in St. Cloud State in general, and just keeping Husky safe and keeping campus open. To be honest, I did not think we would still be open by now, but we are, and it's amazing. So yeah. So we'll close with this question about just what's your favorite thing about the Recovery Resource Center, or St. Cloud State in general, or both? Anyone can
I can go. My favorite thing, well, I might bring it back in a couple of weeks after the October, but was doing the Kevin movie nights at the theater.
Yeah.
It just it's a little bit harder right now because everyone has to RSVP for it, but that was my favorite thing, and that made me feel like I was doing something worthwhile, getting people out of their normal thing and watching a movie that they probably wouldn't have watched. So yeah, that's mine.
We'll kind of have in a sense, a Kevin's movie night for Halloween. So
Yeah.
you were the one that picked out the options for the students to vote on. So those are I think they're two really good options. So
Yeah, me too. I like them both.
yeah.
I guess kind of my favorite thing about the Recovery Resource Center is just having just a safe place to study and hang out with like-minded people, as well as like Thaddeus is absolutely fabulous. If you ever have an issue or need something solved, he's more than willing and capable of figuring it out and working with you. And he's very generous with his time, as well as a bunch of other things. So he's a great resource to have. And just a variety of meetings and everything like that. And just the access and kind of privilege we have within this space. And then kind of speaking about my favorite thing about St. Cloud State, it kind of extends a little bit further. I'm pretty happy with I'm a biology student, and I've gotten to take some pretty cool courses and do some like field studies and really dive deep into kind of what I'm passionate about learning about, and that's been a great opportunity. I have undergraduate research lined up for next semester, which is really exciting. And kind of my experience at St. Cloud State has allowed me to consider, or I guess I am pursuing to apply for graduate school for fall of 2021. So I think St. Cloud State's kind of given me that confidence in my academic ability to move further on into my education.
That's awesome to hear. I promise I didn't pay him to say those things about me. But Taylor, all the students, I mean, everyone's unique in their own way, and it's just a privilege and pleasure to work with each one of them and see their growth, and not only just personally, just in recovery, academically. It's awesome. It's priceless stuff, and I can't wait to see each one of you graduate and get out there in the real world and make a difference. And yeah, it's amazing thing what we have here, and I hope to continue to grow it. And we're recruiting students internally right now at St. Cloud State, but just to, with COVID, it's been tough, but just getting the word out in the community that we're here and we exist, and we're a very unique program in the grand scheme of things, and with collegiate recovery and the whole field. We have a lot to offer. And yeah, so anyone else?
I guess my favorite thing about St. Cloud State is probably the people and the culture and the environment. Thaddeus, speaking off what Taylor said, Thaddeus has always been there for me. If I have a problem, if I need help navigating, he always, if he doesn't know the answer, he'll point me in the direction of where I can go and get it and do it myself, So the help that I've gotten from Thaddeus and all of the members in the Recovery Resource Center has really impacted me staying in school and thriving, really. It hasn't been easy, but I put in the work and I show up and I have these people surrounding me. So I just want to thank all of you for being there for me.
Well, we're really happy to have you be a part of this program, Amanda. And Amanda went home for a semester last semester and enrolled in Bemidji State, and just missed us so much that she had to come back. So
I did miss you guys, honestly. Like, I missed St. Cloud State the whole time. I just compared everything to St. Cloud State, and I was like, okay, I'm going back.
Yeah. And I mean, are you up north right now?
No, I'm in St. Cloud at,
Oh, you are?
I'm digging up cannabulbs with my friend Joy.
Oh, fun. Well, I mean, last week, because Amanda lives in War Road, which is way up there around Lake of the Woods, and it's kind of cool with just virtual stuff going on. Like, she can go up there and see her family, see her daughter for a few days, and still not have to miss class. So it's not all that bad.
No, I would say like the hybrid and like the high flex classes are like blessing in disguises because, you know, like I said, I was able to take a week off. I have a 12-year-old daughter and I was able to go home and spend a week with her and do work and still get all my schoolwork done.
Right. Yeah, I honestly, I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. Did you want to share, John?
Yeah, my experience overall on campus has been great. You know, I've been able to stop people, you know, and you know, ask, you know, I need help with something, you know, a total stranger, and never, you know, I've always gotten a positive response, gotten help. Um, and with the community here, I love the picnics. Anything food based. I think Kevin would probably
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to mention that. I think that's kind of the coolest thing we've done. We did obviously with physically distanced outside barbecues, we did a couple of those, one in the summer, one in the fall, and then we did a fish fry at Taylor's place, and that was phenomenal. Actually, fish tacos. So I'm a big fisherman, so I had a bunch of crappie in the freezer and brought that over, and that was a lot of fun. So yeah, food brings people together, that's for sure. That's one thing, if you ever work in this field where, you know, food helps attract participation. So yeah, we will have a kind of a potluck deal for Halloween. We do Thanksgiving potluck as well, and then we also do a big Super Bowl potluck. This past year, we got a bunch of buffalo wings from a local
That was awesome.
town. It was like a lot of buffalo wings, boneless, bone-in, a lot of other goodies too. So yeah, we have a good time. You know, we have a good time. And one thing I really take pride in is we don't charge anything for students. You know, it's hard as it is being a college student with money, and really, we do a good job fundraising. We do most of our program and operations were funded primarily through donations, grants, and then fundraising efforts. So everything you see in the Resource Center is either donated to us or we pay through our fundraising efforts. So really proud of that. They're already, can you hear that? There's a snowblower going. I never thought I'd hear a snowblower on October 20th. It's crazy. Any other final words before we sign off?
Huskies.
Go Huskies, woo! That's right. And then we're gonna have hockey this year. So I don't know what it looks like for us people viewing it, but we will have hockey, and that's one of the highlights of winter for me, other than ice fishing. Anyway, thanks students for participating in the panel. It's been an honor. Like I said, it's amazing seeing the growth in you all, and yeah, really proud of each and every one of you. We're doing it. I mean, COVID it's here, but we're doing things a little differently, and we're making do. We're staying sober and kicking butt in class. So, Cabby, is she? There you are. Do you want to say anything else before we sign off?
If you have any more questions about St. Cloud State or admissions, please reach out to me or any of the admissions officers, or ask Thaddeus and he can send over my information to you.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everyone who came today, and I hope you have a great day.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.